Another December day, another December vibe, and another episode of Smell the Coffee. You're joined by Dinah Master and Aina Raza Cuello, and we are so excited to have you guys with us as we, of course, talk our bizarre stories, talk our celebrity news, and all things entertainment. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. It's the 12th of December. I love even numbers. They are always comes with positivity, good vibes. I've never had a year which was an odd number work out. So that's why I like even numbers. Okay. Something somewhere always works out with even numbers.
It's a psychological thing. But before we take a quick commercial break, what's your favorite number?
4. Has to be 4.
Mine is 5. And I think 5 is pink. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing. 5 is pink.
Stop having these even odd numbers.
4 seems like it's blue. I'll get back to
you
about what my brain says. But we'll be right back with our interesting entertainment story. First up, we're talking drinking mayo. Yeah, ew. But we'll be right back with that story.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
As I said earlier, Japan has launched drinkable mayonnaise, and it's making people feel uneasy. Japan has had some serious food fads over the years, ranging from cooking mini meals in tiny kitchens to hyper-realistic food. Japan's latest viral drink may take the cake. Drinkable mayonnaise has had a mixed reaction in Japan since its release. Mayonnaise is already a popular condiment in the country. Japanese Kewpie mayo has a cult following worldwide. From adding a squirt on sushi to even pizza, mayo has taken off, but this latest rendition has left some people feeling squeamish. Convenience store Lawson introduced their own version of a mayo-style drink, dubbed a long-awaited new product for mayonnaise lovers. The white-colored thick beverage is still in the testing phase of sales, so it's unclear if the fad will stick, but it certainly left some with a foul taste in their mouth. One buyer wrote, "Absolutely awful. Avoid purchasing. No mayo lover will love this. Why did they sell this?" Another went as far as dubbing it an abomination. "When you drink it, it really tastes like mayonnaise, so it was not yummy," one said. One buyer said they tipped it down the drain. It's not the only bizarre mayonnaise-flavored food to be dropped in the UK. Years ago, mayo ice cream was released in the UK.
Ew.
Similar reactions were had by those who tried it, with one saying it was creamy and rich.
Ew, why do you drink mayonnaise?
Why?
I love mayonnaise. I'm a mayonnaise girl, but to drink it.
To drink it from the straw, from
No.
a cup, just like that.
Ew.
Even mayonnaise ice cream. Why would I want to eat mayonnaise ice cream? Because ice cream is supposed to be sweet.
Which type
Is
of
it savory?
mayonnaise is this even?
Well, this is a store that launched their own version of mayonnaise.
Ew.
A mayonnaise drink.
Maybe it's not the same as the mayo we used to
One
make
person
salad.
who tried it says it literally tastes like mayonnaise.
Ew.
It literally tastes. I guess it's just less thick,
Yeah, I
so you
guess.
can drink it from a straw, but
That's
zero.
disgusting. But nonetheless, let's move over to Khloe Kardashian, who isn't passing judgment when it comes to people who are using Ozempic. The Kardashian star, who has been candid about her fitness journey over the years, shared her take on the type of 2 diabetes medication, which is often used for weight management. "If people get surgery or the Ozempic craze, I'm like, who cares?" the 40-year-old told Bustle in an interview published a few days ago. As long as people feel good about themselves, who am I to judge? I think it's ridiculous, the judgment on that. Chloe added, I'm just mad that Ozempic wasn't around like 10 years ago. Last January, some of her social media followers speculated that she was taking the drug after posting photos of her trim figure on Instagram, but she didn't take the criticism lying down. Let's not discredit the many years of my working out, Chloe wrote back to one of the users in the comment section of her post. I get up 5 days a week at 6 a.m. to train. Please stop these assumptions. While the good American founder knows how to clap back at her critics, that doesn't mean she's not affected by public perception. After an authorized photo of Chloe in a bikini leaked online in 2021, she shared a candid message with fans about how her battle with body image fueled her desire to focus on her fitness. I mean, honestly, who cares? Like, if people want to use Ozempic, good for you. Like,
I care. I really,
but
really
you can't
care
control other people's. This is a personal choice.
No.
You caring is just going to. You are going to live your life walking around mad at other people's choices, and these people are not gonna change.
For me, it's not about the choice. For me, it's the fact that there are people that need this medication and they can't afford it, and there's no regulations on this medication. So now, because rich people can afford it, the people that actually have diabetes that need it cannot afford it. But that's just me.
But
on
that's
that note,
like out of your control.
Let's take a look at our guest segment.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhh.com.na.
We'll start when you are ready.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became the chief curator at the National Art Gallery of Namibia?
Yes, so my name is Ndenda Shivutena Kapunda, and I actually started here at the National Art Gallery as a intern. In my position as the intern, my first job here was to tell artists that their works weren't selected for a group exhibition. So a lot of people were very upset with me, but it was a wonderful gateway to meet artists. And at the same time, I had to do a lot of work with the collection. And so through the mentorship of my then supervisor, Goldhai Eros, I developed and grew within the institution. I became a collections curator. I left for a bit to go help set up the Maritime Museum in Ludrads, and then came back as the chief curator. And now here I am.
All right, now let's go back in history.
Yes.
The National Art Gallery of Namibia was established in 1990 during a significant time in Namibian history. Why was it important to foster a space for the arts at such a time?
So the National Art Gallery of Namibia, as we know it today, actually only came into existence when the Act of 2000 was passed, Act 11 of 2000. But before then, the then Arts Association of Namibia that was occupying this building, and I think it was also the Southwest African Arts Association, not Namibian Arts Association, had the job of kind of laying the foundation for the National Art Gallery. And there's a paper that was actually published in Parliament around that same time, talking about the importance of arts and culture in Namibia. And really, this, what it comes to at the core of it is helping develop the Namibian identity, finding a space for Namibians to identify with through our arts, through our culture, through our heritage. And I think developing the arts gallery is one pillar of that vision of developing the Namibian identity as a whole.
Can you tell us, if you know, what the reception was like during the initial opening of the National Art Gallery? Were there many artists showing interest back then and contributing or being part of the National Art Gallery?
So what I can tell you is from the photos in our archives and some of the documents that I've been privy to, and there was a lot of activity. The gallery has always been a very busy and very active space. And one thing I noticed, I think from the earlier documentation, is that there's a lot of what we would call our traditional artists and what today would call craft that was also very much embraced. There was a push to get Namibian arts outside of the borders, so we were participating in trade events outside the country and taking art outside. I think that as things developed, there was more of a shift between arts and craft, but we're kind of bridging that again. But I think there was definitely an excitement and a hustle and bustle around it, and you still hear people talking about it today.
What did the National Gallery look like when it first opened back then? And where was it initially located? And has it moved ever since it was opened?
So it's always been housed in this building that we are in today, at the corner of John Minette and Robert Mugabe. This building was actually not built for this purpose, for an exhibition space. It was developed as like an art school. So down here where we are in the lower gallery used to be a dance school. They used to do ballet and different kinds of things in here and different things on the different levels. There was music and so forth because, you know, we are next to the theater, so it kind of made sense that way. But when the art gallery became the art gallery, we've been in here for so long, so much so that we've actually almost outgrown the space. We need more space. And yeah, hopefully in the future we'll be able to expand a little bit.
What were some of the biggest milestones or notable moments in the time of the National Art Gallery?
I think that some of the key moments that really catapulted the gallery forward were obviously, one, inclusion of artists of all color. And especially with the push of the artist, the late artist John Mafangeo. He would be one of the artists who, through the support of the gallery, really went on to be, you know, a national icon. And then there are projects that have been run through the gallery, like the Bank Windhoek Triennale, which started out as a Standard Bank biennial exhibition, actually, and then has developed into, changed over to Bank Windhoek. That has set the tone for the quality and standard of art over the years. And then other big things would be the Tulipangwe project that then came from the University of Namibia. That has also been a key project in getting us to kind of give artists a room to experiment. Our director spoke earlier about the limitations that artists face within the ability to kind of push and innovate within their art. Tulipangwe takes you away for 2 weeks, gives you the material, gives you accommodation, and you just say make. And so artists get the chance to just experiment and come up with the most amazing things, but they also get to network. Those would be, I think, for now, the key ones, but there's so many other things that we've done, I think, that have been critical. And right now, another big change that we're going through is obviously change management. We've gotten under new leadership with Michelle van Wyk as our director, is now the next level where we're striving for excellence, pushing to take the gallery, not just to celebrate art, but do it in a manner where we come to an international stage and people are like, oh, look at the Namibians, they've arrived. Yeah.
Who are some of the important role players in the establishment of the National Art Gallery? By who? I mean, not only people, but also organizations as well.
So I think the key players that I'll start with is the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture. That's what it's called now. I mean, the directorate has moved from various ministries in the past, but I think that's the main focus because that's where we're housed under, and that's where our grant and aid comes in from. And without their support, we wouldn't be able to sustain ourselves and carry out our mandate. So I think the consistent support from ministry has been so important and so integral in us being able to carry out our mandate. And then there's the partnerships that we've made with fellow state-owned enterprises like the Theatre Next Door, the College of the Arts, and then the universities. And then you go into the broader network of cultural institutions, where you've got your international organizations and embassies and so forth. And then you've got your corporate world. Bank Windhoek and others who've worked with us over the years. And I think together they've really been important in developing that. And then one key partner that I can't forget, like I mentioned earlier, is the Namibian Arts Association, or the Arts Association Heritage Trust as they're known. They were basically in charge of setting up the foundation that we've managed to build on top of to develop the Arts Gallery as we know it today.
What type of art pieces were initially displayed at the National Art Gallery, and when was the first public exhibition?
So I don't have the exact dates of when the first public exhibition was, but again, from what I've seen in our records, it was quite a lot of classical paintings, printmaking, and then you had your crafters which were doing basket, wood carving, and that kind of work. That's the kind of work that was really very present in the gallery space. And we've diversified, I think, quite a bit.
Yeah, that brings me to the next question.
Yes.
What are the art pieces that are housed now in the gallery, and what has changed in terms of the work exhibited over the years?
Yes, so over the years, we've kind of broadened what art is. We're not limiting ourselves to just things you can hang on the wall or sculptures you can put on the ground. We've got performance art that's happening in our spaces. We've had artists that have released music, their latest music alongside visual arts. So today I would say that the kind of work that we are collecting, the kind of work that we're displaying is interactive work. It's layered work, it's work that has multiple dimensions. It's installation, it's performance, it's audiovisual, it's poetry. It's stuff that one might think should be traditionally in the theater, but actually, you know, we're saying, look, we can house it here as well.
The space for all kinds of artists.
Yes.
What is the initial process for exhibitions hosted at the National Art Gallery?
So we've always had an application process. The curatorial team works closely with the Office of the Director to set up a committee. We accept applications and then go through that and kind of plan the year around either a specific theme or a specific moment that may be happening historically at that moment. And we've kind of carried that on just because you need to kind of have some sort of reference before you allow an artist in to exhibit here, but also you need to be able to see, can we give them the support they need in order to exhibit here and have their work showcased in the best possible manner. And we've carried that on, I'd say, throughout time.
What is the relevance of arts in capturing the history of Namibia?
Art, I think, is crucial in not only capturing, but also creating access points into history. This exhibition that we're sitting in today, the ARC exhibition, is one where the artist played the role of researcher. Artists have a way of communicating. I mean, history, when you think about history, it's textbooks, it's written. That's the format that we normally receive it in. But what we've researched and learned through time is that African history is very oral. And in order to share those narratives that have been passed down, we've found that artists have created amazing ways to pass these kind of histories down, to create, because you know history is multifaceted, to create the different facets through which, different lenses through which we can view history. And I think it's crucial because it assists different age groups to not only have access, but to have interest in wanting to learn about our history.
Would you say the National Art Gallery is a great platform for not only artists to display works and tell the story of our people, but also for people to learn about the history of Namibia?
Definitely. I think that with the various kinds of exhibitions and programs that we host, we work with young school children where we have workshops for them to come in and worksheets that they can fill in and engage and ask questions, to older people who come in and view and read the more text-heavy stuff that is on the walls. We have art talks, we have panel discussions. So we really cater to various kind of age groups, and that's because we think that, you know, the space is for everyone and everyone should feel ownership of it, and there's so much that can be shared with the content that is presented here.
AI seems to be waging a war on the arts. Do you agree with this statement? And what can be done to protect artists in this regard?
So I think that AI is not necessarily waging a war, but I think that it is creating a possibility. It's a tool that artists can use. Once prompted correctly, I think AI can do amazing things for an artist. One of the works, again, that's on show right now is by an artist, Vishitwa Njarine, and she created a video triptych piece. It's an immersive piece. You walk into the room, and parts of that is created with AI. Part of it is performance that she's recorded, and it's all narrating history, where she started by kind of just studying the calabash. So I think that AI in tech is a very interesting tool, and using, again, Vishi's work as a case study, she started out by 3D mapping a calabash. And she realized how uneven the surface of the calabash was, and it resembled the landscape of Namibia, mountainous with the riverbeds, and so then she prompted AI to kind of make her that landscape. And then she went on to tell stories and have footage of, you know, video that she had captured in the actual space, at a waterhole with Kettle, her performing with her own family's cultural belongings that she had returned. So I think if you view it as a tool, it can be very useful. But also, frankly, I think that the art that AI makes is nothing like the art that is made by human hands. So I don't see there being a challenge at all at the moment. You can tell AI from you know, human work, at the moment at least. So for now, I think we're fine, and I think we should just use it as a tool.
All right, I totally agree with that. The soul can move a person.
Yes.
Over the years, the National Art Gallery has hosted, you know, different artists and the spirit of those artists. What do you think has changed in terms of the artists back then and the artists currently?
I think that right now, artists, it's two minds about it. Artists have, I think, more freedom to express themselves. There's really, Namibia is signed up to the UNESCO 2005 convention, and within that we have to uphold and protect the rights of the artists. And that means not censoring the artists. And so what I've seen in my time here at the gallery is that there's been artists who've really used their work to push and challenge and make commentary that some people might be like, are you sure you want to say that? But we've allowed it because this is a space where they should be protected and should be allowed. So I think over the years, we've definitely been fostering that spirit of allowing the artist to express. If you want to say that you don't like something, you're allowed to, as long as you're not demeaning or breaking anyone else down in that process. We create that platform, and I think that's one of the big things that we've managed to do over time.
All right, thank you so much.
Cool, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
As Aina and I like to say, all good things must come to an end. That officially brings us to the end of today's episode of Smell the Coffee. But we will be back again on your screens to brighten up your day with these beautiful pearly smiles. Until then, it's ciao.